What is up, y'all? It's your girl, brand new, and honey, I am back in the building. This time, honey, I'm back with a love and marriage Huntsville extra, honey. This time, honey, we will be reaching out of the Facebook group. So without further ado, let's get off into it. All right, so this post, it says, yeah, Stormy, nobody couldn't have said it better than you. Kiki should have shut that shit down in the first beginning when Tisha's name was brought up, and the way Mel tried to walk back in and give her so-called speech. Yes, Stormy, she throws her situations under the bus, not talk about them. She, Mel, can't move forward at all. She hurried up and got up because she knew that they was going to get her next. So what do you all think about that? I told y'all, Melody is passive aggressive. That is something that she picked up on from being in that relationship with Martel. That type of behavior is not going to help her relationships in the future. You have to address people. You have to provide clarity for people. That way you all are clear on, I feel like this, you feel like this, instead of, oh, I'm gonna act like everything is cool and I'm gonna just ignore you and yeah, let's just say we're moving forward. No, you cannot handle things like that. So, honey, let's see what the people got to say, honey, because it's not official until we hear, what the people got to say about this. So one person says, Stormy is just messy and a true backstabber and cannot be trusted. Stormy don't need to be on the show. Another person says, I'm still trying to figure out why Kiki is even on the show because she and Tiffany are crap starters. Kiki had promised Tisha she wouldn't bring up any of the past, and she broke that promise as soon as she saw Kimmy, Tiffany, and Stormy. I disagree with that. I feel like Tiffany is the one that got a lot of this stuff started. She stuck her nose where it didn't belong. However Kiki chooses to treat Tisha, it doesn't matter. That has nothing to do with you. These two women are cousins. That is on them. Okay, that is what it's about. It's not about you and how you grew up and how you didn't have certain family members, but now you putting your expectations on another woman for how she deals with her family. She moves a certain way, you move a certain way. You have to respect people's differences. You cannot put your values and your standards up on, how you deal with your family up on somebody else. That's wrong. You don't do that. Another person says, talk about beating a dead horse. They should have left that conversation at the reunion. Mel should have walked away. So a lot of people agree with that, but this isn't about that scene. This isn't about that scene and Mel, just walking away and being oh so mature. That's really not who she is. It's not. She has the potential to be that, but she's very passive aggressive with people. She is. It is what it is. Another person says, perfectly said, Melody really left because she didn't want to have to explain why she invited Kiki. She always pretends to want to move forward and get along with everyone, but she really don't. She has done even more and talked about everyone on the show. Tiffany's wearing her nerve thin and she really can't look them in their face. One thing Stormy said I agree with is they were acting like they all hang out and she's not into pretending. I don't remember Stormy saying all of that. Another person says, if I went to a spa day, I don't want to hear no loud women going on about old mess that was really none of their business. I'm with Mel, exit stage left. And another thing that I can mention about this is Melody she didn't want to explain her relationship with Kiki and how, Letitia had did some things to backstab Kiki, and Kiki felt a way about it, and Kiki just so happens to be Letitia's cousin. I noticed she wanted to kind of dead that and just move on, but I'm telling y'all can't really move forward with people until you have a conversation, you get out the differences of opinion, and then you can move forward, like Stormy said. You can't just keep putting stuff under the rug, sweeping it under the rug, thinking it's going to work itself out, because it's not. So another person says, yep, Mel knew she was the culprit of Kiki even mentioning Tisha and Marceau. Mel and Kiki both admitted that that was her only reason for being there. So Mel exited quietly because she knew she got that shit started and didn't want the conversation to veer towards her. Tiffany wasn't done with the conversation with Mel. Mel knew to run. Yeah, God said go. God conveniently said go in that scene. So we'll see what other scenes she's in where, God conveniently says go. I told you all, I am a fan of people being open, being honest, being transparent, being forthright. That is what I am a fan of. So another person says, exactly, Mel was literally Kiki's puppet master. The main reason she invited Kiki to the holiday party was to stir the pot with Tisha. If Mel were genuine, she would have shut the conversation down at the holiday party. Exactly. I think she wanted to get some information out of Kiki about Marceau and Tisha's marriage, because I told y'all, Tisha likes to maintain this perfect image of a marriage that she has with Marceau, and anybody speaking out against that is hating on her marriage. And y'all remember that Melody told Tisha, well, I know that your marriage isn't perfect, and I know this and I know that, and that is why ding 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 Kiki came on the show speaking what she knew about their marriage. And at the end of the day, their damn marriage, it isn't perfect. Kiki is not wrong for stating, what she may have seen. It is what it is, you guys. Y'all don't like the messenger, okay? Y'all don't like that it was Letitia's cousin, but honey, those are the people that know the most about you, your family. They know the stuff that you don't want other folks to know. And Tisha got called out on her bullshiggity and she didn't like it. So let's read another post. One person says, Martel cheated on Mel, not the kids. Mel being selfish as usual. Martel showing up to that B-Day party was not about Mel, it's about the child. Your children's happiness should never be compromised. That's some bullshiggity. These people are divorced. Melody does not owe Martel anything. She doesn't have to party with him. She ain't got to hang out with him. Y'all come up with these ridiculous rules because you have children with somebody. You feel like you owe them your left kidney. You don't owe them anything. Period. You don't owe them nothing. Okay, so one person says to this post, if it's for the kids, he would have made his own party. The kids know about the divorce. If he wanted to respectfully co-parent, why come where there was no invite? Exactly. Another person said, I've always said you got to love your kids more than you hate your ex. Another person says, honey, Mel still want Martel. And like on another post, Mel still hasn't let go, but still states God says go. And yes, it's true. She needs to forgive and forget unless it's a storyline. But no, I believe she still hurts and still wants him back, but she feels she's going to look like a fool if she does. I don't think she wants Martel back. I think she wants Martel to stay in his lane. Another person says they are divorced. Martel needs to throw a party himself. Martel needs to get over it and keep his distance. Divorced couples don't usually have parties together. They don't, especially a marriage, that was as volatile as Melody and Martel. So now y'all divorced. Hook at it knows that. That's his way of, not respecting her boundaries and trying to, make it be about the kids, and it's really not. It just so happens to be the child's birthday. He knows he's gonna play on some of you single moms that may not have dads in the children's lives. He'll, play on your heartstrings and work your heartstrings, and then you could say, man, I wish my child's father would be like Martell. I wish this, I wish that. It's really not that big of a deal. It really isn't. So another person says he still wants to control Mel. See how he tried to walk her to the car and she kept telling him no. He just can't face the fact that he can't control her anymore. I wouldn't let him come to the party either. Another person says, I think it's about boundaries she has set with him. Did y'all see how he went crazy when he thought she was dating somebody? He was posting him. I have dated a man like this, and they still think y'all together in their minds, and they have to tell you what to do. She has a right to say no. Exactly. Now the person says Martel has been disruptive and all up in her space every time he's in her presence. I totally understand her not wanting him around. He could have paid for a party at his house. Exactly. Another person says, nah, he cheated on them too. All that time during COVID, when he should have been home, he was with someone else spending his money on her. Then he had his side piece do interviews calling the mother of his children stupid. Then he tried to take them from her in the court. Then he tried to take profit from Sugar Mama's line he didn't create. I don't even need to continue. He can throw his own party. Another person says, what if he showed up with his youngest son invading Mel's privacy? When does the disrespect with Ariane end? I know that's right, honey. Another person says, Martel don't respect boundaries, period. She even offered to let him have her later that day on her week, but no, it had to be his way. He wasn't invited. He didn't help plan the party or pay for the party. He also refused to leave and told her to call the police. Like, how can people not see Martel for what he is? And this don't have nothing to do with him cheating on her. Why ruin that baby party by causing a scene when you can simply celebrate her after? They have joint custody, meaning they each have their own time with their children, and she never intrudes on his time with their kids. So why can't he do the same? Exactly, because he's a narcissist and he wants to make everything about him. Okay? All right, so another person says, for Mel's mental health, I pray she moves on and finds a way to co-parent with Martel. She does not want to be that bitter and hurt and pretending like she's healed when she isn't by treating Martel like she does. She better hope she never has to tell her kids that their father isn't coming home or he's passed away. The guilt she will be holding on to will eat her alive, mentally speaking. Girl, let me get away from your post. You crazy. Okay, this man is a narcissist. He's trying to control his ex-wife, period. And he will use the kids to do it because he feels like they my kids too. They my kids too. Let me try to hold you up. Let me try to keep you from living your best life. That's what these people do. Another person says, I don't watch this often, but from what I've seen, Martel uses every opportunity to get at Mel. At every event they are both invited to, Martel has to say something to Mel. The prayer, the walking to the car. If I say no, I mean no. He doesn't get it. That Mel is off limits. The children are always on his time, but Mel is not. Just my opinion. All right, you guys, let's talk about another post. So another post that a person put up was Marceau was definitely at a loss for words when Gino broke everything all down. One person says to that post, I think Marceau knew that man was coming from a genuine place as a man and in business. He couldn't manipulate the conversation the way he usually does with the other guys and Tisha. There was no comeback from Gino's response that would make sense other than the truth, which is, you just don't want Tisha that involved. Exactly. Oh, it looked like Marceau makes a comment. What you want, big toenail head? Marceau says, actually, it was a simple aha moment for me, and my description to Tisha is what I thought of in that moment. I live a life of growth, and while this paradigm shift is abnormal, I seek wisdom on a daily basis. Another person comments to Marceau and says, however you want to call that moment, but you had nothing to say, and I'm not saying like it's a bad thing, but I don't think you ever heard it before, like your partner explained it to you. That's all, sir. You can relax. So, honey, do y'all think Marceau is going to change when it comes to Tisha? I don't think he's going to change. I think he's still going to keep doing whatever the hell he want to do. Okay. Another person says, was anybody else over Mel's long dramatic exit in the spa scene? Mel has started way worse. So one person responds to that and says, I think silence is her new strategy because we all know she can be just as messy if the right buttons are pushed. Her exit avoids her participation, which we heard her say, yeah, let's go back to join the others. They were talking about her party and the drama that came from her gathering. You know, the guest list would have been brought up and her participation in the drama, so leaving was in her best interest. And it's funny because when I was reviewing it, I wasn't even looking at it like that. But yeah, that's being passive aggressive. You're not really saying why you had Kiki come on this show. That's what I was trying to tell y'all. Y'all don't listen. Y'all caught up with this whole thing of Mel does everything right and Mel is so right and she shouldn't have said anything and she's just over the drama. No, you have to provide clarity. People have to know where you are truly coming from. Okay, and a lot of people, they don't want to clear up clarity. They want to keep everything in this whole ball of confusion. Because they don't care and they don't want to take any responsibility or accountability for, certain situations. Like I said, I never thought that Melody was a bad person for getting Kiki on the show. Kiki was just somebody to back up, what she was saying as far as Tisha's marriage. That's how I see that. I know some of y'all see that differently, okay? But it is what it is. And I told y'all she's passive aggressive. A lot of people see it, whether you yourself is willing to admit it or not. But a lot of people see it and they don't like it. Another person says, I felt like Mel was being dramatic. She already said bye once. Exactly. When she hugged them, she should have went and got her clothes on and left. But she wanted to be the camp counselor, put the girls in their places, and do that whole thing. If you notice how they was looking at her, they wasn't buying her bullshickity. And that's it. Just, if you are really about peace, then just leave. You don't need to make no speech. Same thing with the situation with Martel and him wanting to walk her to the car. Just go ahead and leave, girl. You don't need to sit up here and chat with Lewis and Tiffany and shout out to Color Me Pink, like I said, because she brought it up, and the way she said it was she feels like Mel, likes the attention she gets from Martell. That may as well be true. But yeah, if you really want to get away from somebody, you would just exit. You would just leave. So passive aggressive, it is what it is. I see what I see. So another person makes a post and it says, I'm no mellow meter, LOL, but Mel leaving the spa day I think was the right thing to do. We supposed to be relaxing, not arguing. And then Marceau actually gets into the comments and says, yes, it would have been nice for you to turn on your TV on a Saturday night to watch the ladies get a massage, meditate, and relax. Exactly. Okay, of course that would have been nice. Okay, so one person says to that post, but she was partly responsible because she brought Kiki to expose Tisha and Marceau. She should have stayed and watched the mess she created. Exactly, passive aggressive. I put all this shit together. I'm not going to explain my part in it. And then we just go move on and we go act like, I didn't have nothing to do with nothing. That's why I keep telling y'all, you have to provide clarity to people. And I think she be moving in such a slick way that she feels like people don't see her. And they do. They see it. Okay? Another person mentions, I agree, but it wasn't necessary for her to go back in there after she got dressed. Exactly. If you are about peace, just get your ass up and leave. You don't need to tell them, well, we need to be bigger people and let stuff go and just move forward. No, like Stormy said, you have to have a conversation, because a conversation, communication provides clarity. That is what it provides. So another person makes a post and says, Tiffany is so messy and doesn't know how to read the room. Everyone was trying to have a nice, peaceful time, but she couldn't help herself. Another person says to that post, why does Tiffany need to read the room? She was not lying. The entire spa day was very fake to me. Ooh, child, the people saying that it was that it was fake. It did look a bit disingenuous because you got certain people that want to sweep stuff under the rug. You got certain people that want to address stuff. And then you got certain people that just need to mind their own damn business. Situation had nothing to do with them. Another person says Tiffany was pregnant and so therefore her timing was wrong. Everyone was reminding Kiki that she is pregnant, but nobody told Tiffany that she probably shouldn't be picking arguments right now. Exactly. Shut your pregnant ass up. Okay, be quiet. So, honey, here's another post one person makes. Raise your hand if you changed your number and assumed all your real friends are going to DM you because they know that you changed your number. I will wait. So one person comments to that post and says, Mel was definitely playing in Stormy's face at that point. Another person says the keywords are real friends. They didn't have to DM. They got the call that the number has changed to a new number. Everyone that stands in your face isn't really your real friend. Exactly. I mean, in that situation, Stormy out here hanging out with Martel and Sheree, and she know the type of man that Martel is and all he put Melody through. No, that don't have nothing to do with her, but if you are her good girlfriend, it looked like you would say something about that. Like, girl, we go hang out with Martel this weekend because Courtney invited him out. She couldn't even communicate that because the number was changed. And then Stormy said she didn't want to DM Melody. She ain't about to do all of that. Stormy and Melody ain't gonna be friends because they communicate differently. And Stormy feels like Melody is full of bullshiggity. Okay, that's all that is. So one person comments to that post and says, I would never expect my real friends to get my number by sending me a DM. I think the real issue is Mel doesn't see Stormy as a real friend anymore. That's why she didn't get the new number, but she needs to just say that instead of making it seem like Stormy should have DM'd her, because that's stupid. Mel needs to just admit she's cool on Stormy. That way there's no confusion. And on that note, honey, there's that word, okay? That part right there. What did I tell y'all about that confusion, honey, okay? People don't like confusion. All right, you guys, that's all I have to say about that, honey. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you thought about this here video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, brand new, and I will check you guys out in the next video.